looking forward to joining you in this next series of special guests. For many of us, figuring out what we'll do tomorrow is a hard enough task, so let's try envisioning 2 decades from now. Where will Israel be in 2050? Might I add in a small side note, may we all merit to live to see Israel in 2050. The video we just saw was produced by our first speaker, who will elaborate on the humanitarian perspective of this issue. I'd like to welcome I'd like to welcome Michael Evans II, President of the Friends of Zion Museum and the Jerusalem Prayer Team.
Thank you so much. Precious. It's a real joy to be with you guys today. Many of you I've followed as I have worked in the country over the last decade, and I'm a big fan. And so it's good to be here with you. And selfishly, well, it's just great to be in Israel right now. I've spent the last months, thank you. I've spent the last months in and out of Ukraine, and most of my preaching, most of my teaching, most of my speeches during this time have been, in the war zone there. And so artillery fire, blackouts, that's kind of been the norm for me over this last year. And it's so great to be here. This feels like such a shining example of what's possible. And when they asked me to talk about the humanitarian perspective, I really felt just uniquely equipped. You know, maybe if you had asked me a year ago, I wouldn't have felt that way. But today I did. And so I'd love to share something with you that I believe the Lord has put on my heart, and I hope that He puts it on your heart as well. You know, I've been working here in the country for a decade, and my father for 5 decades combating anti-Semitism. We've been doing that through preaching. We've been doing that online, through prayer, through messages. I would host, especially during COVID, a lot of online prayer sessions that would sometimes get millions of views. And the theme, outside of just the spiritual theme, the practical theme, was really to fight and to combat anti-Semitism. We're all excited about that. We all feel and know the importance of it. But maybe we don't really realize how God's people perish for lack of knowledge. You know, that was a word that was used in the Bible for a specific time, for a specific context, but I think that it applies to our world today as well, doesn't it? God's people, the Jewish people, suffer tremendously because of our lack of knowledge, historically and even today. And so we've made it our cause to continue to educate, to continue to work, be it at the Friends of Zion Museum. Many of you have probably been there before. If you haven't, go, tell them I sent you. They'll roll out the red carpet, okay? Please. But also through education with our Ambassador Project. Educating young people to be ambassadors for the nation of Israel. To be people who go home wherever they're from and combat anti-Semitism there. To be people who understand the calling of the Jewish people, who love the nation of Israel. It's powerful. And we continue to innovate in that way so that these individuals will be lights in the darkness. We don't want ignorance and a lack of knowledge on our part to hurt them. And in this world today, with so much lies online, So much ignorance on television. It is our job more than ever, our responsibility, all of our responsibilities, to be those educators, to be those people who inspire the future generation, to stand up and to say, Hanani, here am I, God. But why? You know, as a pastor's kid, I was always obsessed with that question. More than any other question. Not who, what, or where. Why? Years ago, when me and my dad were talking, he said, I'm going to build a museum in Jerusalem. Why? I want to know why. Let's get down to the real reasons. You know, there's a lot of people that would say, okay, Christianity has its roots in Judaism. We understand the draw to the nation of Israel. But why be Christian Zionists? Why be people like these people that you see in the Friends of Zion, like the Tim Boom family, who literally gave their lives for the Jewish people? Many of you know the story. Casper Tim Boom was there in his clock shop in Haarlem, Holland. And as an old man, an old respected man in his community, everybody knew what he was doing. They knew that he was hiding Jews, that he was saving Jewish lives. And the Nazis even came to him. And they said, you know what, old man, if you promise that you'll bring in no other Jews, we'll let you live. You can die of old age in your bed. And he said, no. The next Jew that knocks on my door, I will gladly bring in. It would be my honor to give my life for God's chosen people. Imagine that level of commitment. He wasn't risking his life. He was risking his children's too. Betsy died in Ravensbrück. Corey suffered tremendously. Imagine that level of commitment. You don't do that because you are bartering with God for a blessing. You do it for one reason. One word. Hesed. Love. You do it for love. It was for the reason of Zion that I went to Ukraine for the first time. We started a small work there, just helping some small Jewish communities in Ukraine around Kyiv with food, some basic things. And I would go, I'd visit with them every once in a while. It wasn't a very big project. And then I ended up there a couple weeks before the war started. And I realized this is about to be a storm that nobody can imagine. The fear was palpable. You could feel it in the atmosphere. I would meet with these Holocaust survivors, and they would tell me, you know, the Russians came before. Why are they coming again? They had gone from the atrocities of the Holocaust to oppression under the USSR. And then their thinking was, they're coming back for me. I'm looking at the TV and Biden's telling me to get out. All Americans leave. So I do. Shortly after that, me and my dad, we brought a truckload, 20 tons of food and medicine across the border. We were really proud of ourselves. We patted ourselves on the back. We celebrated. And the Lord stopped my celebration. Because I sat there with all of that food and all that medicine. And I thought, how do I know if that woman that shared that with me is going to get any of this? I don't. She's alone in her home outside of Kyiv. And I have no guarantee that she's going to see any of this food. And so on my heart, God told me to go. Bring it. Deliver it yourself. And that's what I did. You know, I found a woman there, one of our community members, that had been bedridden since the war began. Couldn't leave her bedroom. Couldn't leave the bed that she was laying in. So afraid. And you have to understand, the beginning part of the war was chaos. I was there outside of Kyiv, bombs going off nonstop. You don't know where the Russians are. They can be around any corner. I go to the line there on a foggy day and turn the corner, and I hear gunshots, and then going past the side of my head. And have to work my way around. She's terrified. She's laying in her bed. And the only thing that I can do is pray for her and bring her this food and bring her this medicine and let her know that people love her and are standing with her. Even after all of those Jewish people that I had been there to support had left, I continued to go back. I couldn't stop myself. I'm going back in 2 days. I get to be Santa Claus. I'm bringing a truckload of toys to some children that are too poor to leave. Why? Hesed. The power of Christian Zionism is loving a people that is outside of yourself. They're different from your tribe, but you love them as if they're your own people. And it becomes such a powerful thing that you would risk your life for this family that isn't yours. You would stand in the gap for them. Hesed. Hesed means unconditional love in English. It gets translated in our Bible as unconditional love, brotherly love, all of these different love words, but it is so much deeper than any of that. You could write books on the idea, on the depth of this Hebrew word, of this Hebrew principle that the church in the West so desperately needs to grab a hold of with both hands. It's not love turned inward. It's love turned outward. Hesed. When you hesed somebody, you feel their pain in your guts. Down in your core. If you have a child and you've seen your child go through heartache or heartbreak and it's hurt you down to your core, that is hesed. That's the nature of what Christian Zionism should be. And when we grab hold of that, it changes everything. I don't go to Ukraine in spite of being a Christian Zionist. I do it because I am. Because I know what it's like to love a group of people, to stand in the gap for them, to pray for them, to risk for them. Hesed is God's most descriptive character, and it should be ours as well. I love you, and God bless you.